Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge is now out on Blu-ray for everyone. It's been out on digital for a couple of weeks, but now it's available on both. If you guys haven't already seen my review of the movie, you can go ahead and check that out. It's spoiler-free, and from my review, you would know that I actually really did like this movie. It was everything I wanted it to be. So, if you haven't seen the movie, I highly recommend it, and also, if you haven't seen the movie, be forewarned, this video will have spoilers for the movie because we're going to be going over all the Easter eggs and references that you may have missed. There's lots of references and parallels to the first Mortal Kombat movie and lots of inspiration from the games as well, and in this video I will be talking all about those very things. However, before we get into the video, I have a big announcement to make. Do you want to own Scorpion's Revenge? Well, you're in luck because I will be doing a giveaway of a digital code for Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge. So, how do you enter for your chance to win? Well, since we are all in quarantine during these times, I will actually be doing a watch party for the movie on my Discord where you can join in and watch the movie with me. I will be having my friend join me as a special guest, and we will be doing our live commentary while we watch. And I will randomly select the winner of the giveaway based on those people who joined in. So, when will this watch party happen? Keep the date set for April 30th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So remember, in order to win, join my Discord, which is linked down below, join my friend and I in watching Scorpion's Revenge while we give our live commentary and our thoughts on April 30th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And that's it. Hope to see you there. With that being said, let's get started with the video. So right off the bat, the art style is right in line with the rest of DC's animation with their DC movies. And I really do like the art style that they chose, because it allows the characters to not look overly detailed and have very simple, classic-esque looking design. The costumes that the characters wear, as a matter of fact, for the most part, are straight from Mortal Kombat X. Liu Kang is wearing his Mortal Kombat X costume. Scorpion's design is also inspired from MKX, although it's much simpler looking in the movie. Also, his Hanzo Hasashi look is almost exactly from Mortal Kombat X. Sub-Zero's costume is also from that game. Raiden's costume, Quan Chi's costume, Kitana's costume, Goro's costume, and some of the Lin Kuei warriors that you saw in the MKX story mode and also MKX Mobile look the same way in this movie. And finally, Sonya's look is inspired from MKX, however, they changed the main color to green, which more resembles her classic look from MK1 and MK3, which to me is a whole lot better of a look for Sonya. Shang Tsung of course was not in Mortal Kombat X, so they went with his MK9 costume to be his design in this movie. So when we get to the introduction of the main heroes, there are a couple of tiny little references and Easter eggs that you may have missed. When we get to Johnny Cage's introduction, we see that a girl breaks up with him and telling him to grow up. Though this woman is not named, this could be a tiny little nod to Cindy Ford, who was Johnny Cage's ex-wife, as revealed in a bio from John Tobias's old Mortal Kombat 1 comic, and she is also referenced in the Mortal Kombat movie character bio for Johnny Cage. We actually don't know what Cindy Ford looks like. She is only name dropped in those bios from the comic and the movie. So the woman who we see in Mortal Kombat Legends could very well be her. Johnny Cage also has some of his movie posters around in his house, and one of the movie posters he has up is for Ninja Mime, which is a very well-known movie that is referenced a lot in the games. When Sonya is introduced in this movie, the setting takes place in China, and this is actually a parallel with the first Mortal Kombat movie. When Sonya is introduced in the 1995 movie, the setting she is in also takes place in China, specifically Hong Kong, but in this movie, it's in Shanghai. So in this movie, she actually gets invited to the tournament, while in the original timeline and in the new timeline, she was actually just chasing down Kano. She wasn't there for the tournament. So when she gets the invitation, she gets the Mortal Kombat scroll that also looks a lot like the one we saw in the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie. After we get through the introductions of the heroes, we go back to Scorpion in the Netherrealm. And the look of the Netherrealm is very reminiscent of the Crossroads stage from MKX. The scene also has an Oni from the Netherrealm who tortures Scorpion and looks a lot like Moloch for Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. Now, this isn't actually Moloch, the filmmakers just use Moloch as a reference for design, because in the credits he's listed as Demon Torturer. We also see many denizens from the Netherrealm, and there are some that resemble the Netherrealm demons from MKX Mobile. And at the end of the scene where where Scorpion is in the Netherrealm, he says this line.
Hanzo is dead. Call me Scorpion.
Sounds like something you've heard before, right? Well, that's because it's probably a nod to the end of Mortal Kombat Rebirth, where the last line in that is almost identical.
Hanzo Hasashi is dead. My name is Scorpion.
The movie also brings us another boat scene where Johnny Cage, Sonya, and Liu Kang meet for the first time, which I absolutely love because that scene is obviously inspired from the first Mortal Kombat movie that was inspired from the John Tobias comic where those characters also meet for the first time. When they get to Shang Tsung's island, we also get a banquet scene, or the dinner setting, which is also straight from the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie, but we also got some cool Easter eggs in here. You can see people doing Test Your Might, which is a very iconic side game in Mortal Kombat, but what most fans I imagine noticed was a cameo appearance from Nitara from Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance when Johnny Cage asks her if the food there is organic or not, and she just hisses at him, which I thought was a really nice cameo. During this banquet, Shang Tsung introduces himself, and when he explains the origins and history of Mortal Kombat, he talks about the Elder Gods, and when he does, you can actually see the One Being in the background, which hasn't really been referenced in Mortal Kombat in such a long time, so I'm really happy that they snuck the One Being in there. The Great Kung Lao story is also acknowledged in this history lesson from Shang Tsung, and Shang Tsung is also seen in his MK3 costume during this flashback. After that, we get Scorpion retrieving the quote-unquote key for Quan Chi, which the look is obviously inspired by Shinnok's amulet. During this scene, the Goro vs. Jax fight is happening, and it's about to end with Goro killing Jax, and Raiden interrupts yelling, "Enough," which once again is a reference to the Mortal Kombat movie.
Enough!
In the movie, he does this to enforce what his role is in the tournament, to make sure to stop Shang Tsung from cheating and performing his barbarism when he has Sub-Zero and Scorpion attack Sonya, Liu Kang, and Johnny Cage. In Mortal Kombat Legends, he does the same thing, except he's interrupting a fight between Goro and Jax. After that, Raiden is seen healing Jax's wounds, similar to what he did in Mortal Kombat 9. Shang Tsung then starts the tournament, and the first match we see is between Johnny Cage and Baraka. Although he isn't name dropped in the special features of the movie, they do refer to this Dark Cotton as Baraka. He is also seen wearing what he has in Mortal Kombat X. Also, when Johnny Cage escapes, he says the iconic line, "Toasty," which all of us caught as being a nod to Toasty from the games. When we get to Sonya's fight, it's totally inspired by the Predator, with the infrared vision, the yellow eyes, and maybe Reptile's invisibility? Like Baraka, he also is a name drop, but he does look exactly like Reptile because this Zaterran looks exactly how Reptile looked in Mortal Kombat X. Lastly about Sonya's fight, the setting seems very similar to the Kwatan Jungle stage from MKX. Now, I don't think this is the Kwatan Jungle because that actually takes place in Outworld, and remember, we are on Shang Tsung's island, which takes place in a space between realms. But I'll say it looks like it's inspired off of that stage. There are a couple things to point to in the Liu Kang vs. Kitana fight. The place where they are fighting seems to be inspired by Shang Tsung's garden stage from MK9, which is the same place where Liu Kang and Kitana first fought in Mortal Kombat 9 story mode, where this scene is also inspired from. The way the scene plays out based on Kitana's tone when she eventually loses and yields to Liu Kang implies that she knows about Shao Kahn's evil doing through her life, which is a very important part to her character and clearly a setup for what we could get in the future. The movie's next fight sequence is between Scorpion, Johnny Cage, Sonya, and Liu Kang against a bunch of Black Dragon goons. And when Liu Kang fights them, he kills one of them the same exact way as one of his fatalities from Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. This is also where we finally get a fight scene between Scorpion and Sub-Zero, which is taking place on the pit stage, And when Scorpion eventually kills Sub-Zero, the way he does it is by the pit stage fatality from the games, except this time, Scorpion takes himself with him, which I thought was a very cool way to do a stage fatality in this movie. The movie then goes to Sonya's pursuit of Kano, and she ends up in the Dark Prison, which is actually a stage from Mortal Kombat Deception. And eventually, Johnny Cage comes in to save Sonya and introduces himself with the iconic
Here's Johnny!
Johnny?
Don't worry, babe. I got this.
which is obviously a little nod to his MKX fatality, which was also referencing the same line from The Shining. Now after all of that, the final fights of the movie take place, where we get Liu Kang versus Goro first, and this fight takes place in Shang Tsung's throne room, which is a stage from MK1, but has a little bit of inspiration from how it looked in MK9. And the last fight between Scorpion and Quan Chi, the way Scorpion throws his final punches to Quan Chi is actually the same way Liu Kang was throwing his final punches to Shang Tsung in the Mortal Kombat 1995 movie. Then, at the very end of the movie, we get to see a very brief appearance of Shao Kahn, where he scolds Shang Tsung for losing the tournament and teasing his plan to get back at Earthrealm, which is also something we have seen at the beginning of MK2, and also a version of that in MK9. So, those were all the Easter eggs and references that I caught in Mortal Kombat Legends: Scorpion's Revenge. Let me know if I missed any. Remember guys, if you want a chance to win a free digital code of Mortal Kombat Legends: Scorpion's Revenge, be sure to join the Discord and join my friend and I, because we're going to have a watch party with some commentary on April 30th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's going to be great and it's going to be fun. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a big thumbs up and also subscribe. It really helps my channel out a lot. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I will see you all very soon.